Guys, I wanted to hop on here and share a few thoughts. I have been talking with my client about how when we don't have a change, we're making the choice not to change, and it can come across as really harsh. And I've made some clients upset when I say, well, it's just a choice. But I just wanted to talk about that for a second. This is totally unscripted. I have no idea how this will go, but when we want to make a change, we have to make a choice in order to make that change. So let's say your change that you want to make is to walk in the mornings before work. You have to choose to do that every morning, and it's going to take effort to make that choice for probably at least a month. And even after that month, it's going to take effort, and you're going to have to choose that every single day if you want it to become a habit. Even once it is a habit, it's still a choice. You still have to make that choice every day to continue the habit. So I think it's really easy for us to think, well, I'm just the kind of person that I know myself and I can't do this or I can't change this. And that's really a defeating mentality. It's just a choice. And when you think about it, it's really harsh to just say, well, you're just not choosing to change. Sorry. But that's the truth. And so, for instance, for me, I choose to work out consistently. I choose to take my dog on several walks a day. And those are choices that I make intentionally, and I own every single choice. I also own the choice that I have drinks and some indulgent foods with my friends. And those are choices that probably don't lend themselves to physical appearance goals or physical health, but they do lend themselves to my mental and emotional health. And even if they were just for fun, I'm owning those choices. And I don't expect the results that someone who doesn't make those same choices might get. Someone who says, I'm not going to indulge in any foods, I'm going to be extremely strict with my nutrition intake, I'm going to not have any alcohol, they are probably going to get different results than I do. And it's not because they have it easier, it's because we're making different choices, and we at the end of the day just have to own the choices that we're making and quit having this kind of like, well, it must be nice that these people are able to make those decisions. They are still choices. I saw a meme the other day that said the healthy girl and the girl that works out and the girl that goes after her goals likes cookies just as much as you do. We just because people look at me and think, well, you've never been extremely overweight or you've never had any serious health concerns, doesn't mean that I'm not making intentional choices every single day. So when I say if you're not changing, you're choosing, what I mean is in order to make a change, you have to choose to change it. And so for me, that looks like tracking habits. I talked about that in my stories earlier. I track my habits when I want to tighten in some of my behaviors, and it's a great way to keep track. Just know, I hope this is motivating, and I'm sorry if it comes across as harsh, but it is the truth, whether you feel like it's harsh or not, is that if we want to change, we have to make those choices. So it's true that we can't choose our circumstances all the time, but we can choose how we react to our circumstances and how we react to whatever happens in our lives, how we react to the schedule that we have, how we react to the relationships we have with other people or the events on our calendar. We can choose what to do with our daily behaviors. We can. And if we're not changing and we want to change, all it takes is a choice to change that behavior. It will not be easy. Following through on that choice is not easy. Making those choices can be really painful, really hard, really difficult. But if we want to make a change, we just have to choose to change. And that's something that I'm doing this month. Over the summer, I've been a little more lenient. I've been getting my workouts in great, but there's been more fun on the calendar, so there's been a lot more indulgent foods than I normally have. I haven't been meal prepping, And that's fine. That's what this season has looked like for me. I'm owning those choices. I am owning the fact that I haven't made progress on the scale in my inches. I haven't made progress on those things because I chose to do something else with my behaviors that didn't result in any changes in those, in my aesthetic goals. It didn't. But I also chose to work out consistently and still stay active this summer and have an amazing summer, which I don't regret at all. I totally own those choices too, that I feel great. I didn't lose any progress that I had made. So this month for me, August, is just gonna be me kind of dialing in my habits a little bit more. One of the things I wanna do is meal prep a bit more, just so I'm more prepared. That's a choice. You can make that choice too. You can make different choices. But I've had a few clients be like, well, I know myself, I won't get up and do that. Well, you won't, because you're not choosing to. And I think there's power in understanding our personalities and playing to our strengths, but there's also power in knowing that if we want to be different, we can be. We have the choice to be different and to live different lives and to have different behaviors, and we have to choose them and we have to implement them consistently. So if you want to get better sleep, are you going to bed earlier? Do you have a nighttime routine? And if you're thinking, yeah, that doesn't really work for me, have you had a consistent bedtime routine for 90 days in a row? If you haven't, then you're not choosing to implement a nighttime routine to get you better sleep. So I guess I had a rant. But I hope this is helpful. If you are not changing, you're choosing to stay the same, and that's perfectly fine. Just own that choice and don't complain to others about it. Don't act like others have it easier because they are changing, because you don't see the work that they're putting in and you don't know all the choices that they're having to make in order to get the results that they're getting. So anyway, if you want to change, choose to do so.